Once upon a time, there was a little girl who lived with her mother by the edge of a big forest. The girl's mother had made her a cloak and a hood of bright red wool, and she wore it so often that she became known as Little Red Riding Hood. One day, her mother called her and said, "Your grandmother is not well. I have made some little cakes and put them in this basket, and there's a pat of butter and some newly laid eggs. I want you to take them to her and see how she is. But mind you, go straight there and back, and don't go off the path." Little Red Riding Hood was very fond of her grandmother and gladly set off along the path that led her to the cottage. It was a fine, sunny day, and the wildflowers were blooming all about. So after a while, Little Red Riding Hood thought, "It's early in the day and there's plenty of time, and I would only have to step a little way off the path to pick some of these flowers. I could take them to Grandmother to make her feel better." So she wandered off the path and began picking flowers. She was soon deep in the wood. In the distance, she could hear the blows of the woodcutters' axes and sometimes their voices singing while they worked. But she didn't hear the wolf of the wood, who was lurking nearby, spying from behind a tree.
"This looks like a juicy morsel,"
thought he.
"but I dare not eat her here. The woodcutters are too close. I will speak to her and find out where she is going."
So he came out from behind the tree and said as softly as he could,
"Good day, little girl. Are you walking the same way I am? Perhaps I could carry your basket for you so that you can pick flowers more easily."
"Thank you kindly, sir," replied Little Red Riding Hood. "But I'm going to my grandmother's cottage just along the path to the other side of the wood, and I'm nearly there. I won't put you to any trouble."
"Good day, then," said the wolf politely. "I hope that we shall meet again soon."
He hoped so very much indeed, and Little Red Riding Hood had not noticed the wicked glint in his eye when she told him where she was going. She picked another handful of buttercups and daisies and then returned to the path that led her straight toward her grandmother's cottage. When she knocked at the door, a hoarse voice called out,
"Lift the latch and the door will open. Come right in, my dear."
Little Red Riding Hood lifted the latch and went in. She saw her grandmother lying in bed wearing a big frilled nightcap with the blankets pulled up to her chin. "I'm sorry to find you in bed, Grandmother," said she. "I brought you some cakes that Mother has baked and a pat of butter and some newly laid eggs. And here are some flowers I picked myself to cheer you up and make your room look bright." The wolf, for the wolf it was under the frilled lace nightcap, told her to put the food in the pantry and to arrange the flowers in a vase.
"Now you sit beside me and rest,"
he said when Little Red Riding Hood had finished. She went up close to the bed, thinking how strangely her grandmother had changed now that she was sick. "Oh, Grandmother, what great ears you have," she said.
"All the better to hear you with, my dear,"
said the wolf. "Oh, Grandmother, what great eyes you have," said Little Red Riding Hood.
"All the better to see you with, my dear,"
replied the wolf. "Oh, Grandmother, what great arms you have," cried Little Red Riding Hood.
"All the better to hug you with, my dear,"
said the wolf, and he stretched them out toward her. But Little Red Riding Hood stepped quickly back and gasped, "Oh, Grandmother, what great teeth you have!"
"The better to eat you with,"
cried the wolf, and he sprang up from the bed to devour her. But just then, the black ninja of the wood came to her rescue and defeated the wolf of the wood. "I saw you talking with the wicked wolf, little maid," he said, "and came to save you. Your grandmother is safe and sound at my house. I don't like little girls to be eaten up, even when they do disobey their mothers and wander away from the path and speak with wolves." Little Red Riding Hood's face turned so red that it almost matched her cloak. "I shall never do it again," she promised, and she never did. Little Red Riding Hood and Black Ninja of the Wood became great friends. They played in the forest like brother and sister and lived happily ever after.